We're going to use alpha channels to cut through an image and reveal images behind that image. And the theme can be, for this one, a contrast in visual things like city and country, or it could be a contrast of other things. What you need to do is get yourself a couple of images, so some background images of lights, so city lighting. This is LA in the and there's another one of the CBD of Melbourne, and also a stamp that we can um, cut and paste into the alpha channel. So try and find a grayscale image, a black and white image, doing a Google image search, and yeah, open those up with Photoshop. So the first thing that you need to do if you'd like to make a mask is, choose an image to start with. And so when you do your searching for images, just make sure that you're using the search engine the right way. So um, when you do a search, just make sure that you go through and use the Google search engine that's focusing on the image downloading images here, and then go and use the tools, change the size so it's larger than 2 megapixels. That way you'll have a nice high-res image, and then you can find something that you think is going to work with this project. So whatever you choose, you don't download this, which is the thumbnail. Go and view the image itself and download the actual image. So that is a high-res one. Save that link, save that image as, and we'll just downloads, save it. Alright, and I can check that. If I open that up with Photoshop now, I can check the image resolution. So I'll just open it with Photoshop. And if I go image and image size, I can check, and it is, it's a decent sized image. It's way over what we'd want roundabout. Well, it's over 1200 pixels wide, which is where you want to be, roughly. Okay, and so your other image of the city, you can download those and have them in the background. So if you would like to get those city images into the same file, just drag them up and then let them go down in there. So if I go Command T, just Command minus to zoom out, and now that'll be in the background. So I need to drag that behind my, double click my foreground image and then drag that behind so it's there, and we'll get the stamp later. This LA scape, I'll just drag that in there and I'll drag that behind, so that's sitting in there. Alright, now we've got our 2 images. So we're going to make a mask, and we're going to it's going to be an alpha channel. So to cut through this image, what you need to do is type some text. Now there's you could, if you wanted to, just create it on another layer in front, and you could fill that layer with the foreground color down here. So if I go Command Delete, it fills with the background color. Option Delete fills with the foreground color. Then if I use the text tool and just select the type tool, and you can open up the type user interface here, and you can see we've got some pretty large type going on here. We can wind that down just by holding over this and winding it across to the left, and we'll just type in city. Now you'll see the text color here. You can change that to black, drag it right down to that bottom right hand corner so it's 000, and that's city. Now you'll see this, your text tools here are going to be able to be used if you select the text. So I could use the tracking here. I could scrub across here and stretch the text out. I could change the scale of this text. There are other ways of doing that as well with the Command T tool. That gives you the ability to do that as well. You've just got to hit return at the end. So this this can be our mask. Okay, so if I go Command A and Command C, I'll copy it. Alright, and I'm just going to hide that layer. Command D to deselect the marching ants. I'm just going to hide that text layer and the white layer. Go to our image of the city, and we're going to add the mask. So adding a mask is done by clicking on this little mask button, and you can see we've got a mask instantly. And then you can go in and edit the alpha channel that you just created by going into the channel pull down menu and activating it, turning the eye on, and pasting in the image that you just made, which is text. Okay. The marching ants are active, so you Command D to deselect them. You can see we're cutting through and we're revealing what's behind this image of the country road. And then, yeah, so that works. So to edit the mask, you have to activate it. You have to turn the eye on. You could go and grab something like this stamp. You know, you could just grab the whole thing. Just make sure you've got the layer selected. I'd unlock it. Command A and Command C to copy it. And then if you go back into your actual mask that you're editing, you have to go over here and then Command V. Now, you can, while that's active, you can go and go Command T and scale it down and move it around. But once you hit return, it's a different story with editing the stamp. So let's just do that and I'll show you. So if I go Command D now and if I try and move things around, it's not really working for us. So yeah, the mask itself, you know, we can turn all these layers off and we can just look at the mask. You can edit that. It's a black and white image. You can add anything to it. Grayscale imagery, as long as it's black and white. Whatever's black is revealed. Okay, that's the key thing to remember. So there we have it. Turn that layer off and you can see the city. Then you can do a bit of juggling and try and figure out what image works best behind. So you could maybe scale that image down of the city, the cityscape, and you know, just get the buildings to be behind the text. So that might work. You know, if you've just got the buildings or something behind the text, you can use the selection tool and delete the remaining bit of this image that we're working with. So hit delete, right? And then this imagery behind the stamp, well, it's actually what's left behind here. We can see through. I'll just cut away a little bit and we can see through, and we've got our cityscape, our Los Angeles cityscape. So you can scale that up and down until that you know, works for you. Whatever imagery you're working with, it's going to matter on the color that you've got in your background. Things are going to be different according to your selection. So, you know, you might like to organize that so it matches the horizon line that we've got in our image with the road. It's sort of coming close to the perspective that's going on with the road, and have some fun with perspective. Okay, so generally that's how you work with a simple cut and paste of a mask.